I was listening to an interview with Sadhguru, who is one of the internationally famous teachers in the world, who I actually love. And there's hundreds and hundreds of videos of his dissertations and his teachings online. He also wrote the book called Inner Engineering: A Yogi's Guide to Joy. Really love what Sadhguru has to bring to the world. He's quite irreverent for a holy man, and very pointed and very practical. Love Sadhguru. I was listening to an interview though, and he said something that really landed strongly with me. He says, human beings have a really vivid imagination and a fantastic memory. A vivid imagination and a fantastic memory. So a vivid imagination of the future. We spend most of our time, and I've talked about this over and over and over again, and it's been the keys to my own freedom, is that we make up the future constantly. We make it up in fears. Oh my God, this is going to happen. Or, oh my God, I'm going to be embarrassed. Or look what's going on with the economy, and Bitcoin is going up and Bitcoin is going down, and the stock market and the political thing. And we just make up all, the oceans, all this stuff. We just make up all this stuff. Some of it has some basis in fact that we should take care of. When we're looking at air pollution and water pollution and plastic and things like that, we really should look at those things because our lives depend on it. But that catastrophic feeling in the future of when we go see that client who was mad at us, what's going to happen? We constantly, how many times have you woken up in the middle of the night having arguments with people who are not there in your bed? Or when you're getting ready for the day and you're just nervous about some of the meetings that you're going to have. We sit and we live in the wreckage of the future so often. Or the opposite is, oh, when I make this sale, I'm going to be good. I remember this so vividly. I was in the middle of, I had made my number for the entire year. So I had already been over 100% of my goal as a sales guy. And I had this $4 million sale, which would have been double what my goal was, something like that. The commission check was $360,000. That one commission check was $360,000, $385,000 if I remember correctly. I kept saying, when I make this sale, then I will be okay. When I make this sale, then I will know I'm a good salesman, because I never thought I was a good salesman. So when I do this, and when I get that $385,000 commission check, I will know. Guess what? I made the sale. I got the $385,000 commission check, and I felt no different. I just didn't. Because by the way, the year ended, went back to zero, and they doubled my goal. Now I had already sold $9 million worth of stuff to my customers, and they didn't need anything next year. And I had a finite number of customers. I didn't have a whole territory. So no, it didn't do me any good. So this whole living in the future, this vivid imagination of the future, is one of the things that causes us so much stress. So again, how do we take a deep breath? How do we wiggle our fingers, wiggle our toes, be here now, as Ram Dass says, be here now instead of the wreckage of the future. And then if we're not in the future, how many times have you been in the shower going over an argument you had 3 days ago over and over and over again? And we live back in the past. The problem with this fantastic memory also is we actually don't remember things correctly. We don't remember things correctly. We remember things from our point of view. That's one. We remember things from the point of view of that person who may have been triggered, like me. Like maybe I was angry with my significant other. So when I'm angry, my perception is colored, and I remember it exactly the way I remember it. But it may not be the reality, because if you talk to the other person, they remember it completely different because they have a different perspective, and they may not remember it correctly. So you may not have an actual accurate record of what happened. Even if you have the video, it's all subjective. I've had conversations over video, and we both see completely different things. So this, if we're not living in the future, we're living in the past. How many times, and then subconsciously, how many times subconsciously in the past, when we do studies on the brain, when we do studies on human nature, A lot of what we do as a 40 or 50 or 60-year-old comes out of decisions, choices, and things that we've done, made back when we were 5, 6, and 7 years old. So we think we're living as a 50-year-old or a 40-year-old, but the truth is the person running the show is the little kid inside of us. And until we get conscious of that, until we see that that 6-year-old's decision that this kind of person is bad is being projected onto the person that we're meeting now. And I can't tell you how many conversations I've had with, my boss treats me just the way my dad did, or my wife treats me just the way my mom did. And that's all just referencing those files from the past. So the trick to getting some peace and again, these are just the first steps. The trick to getting some peace is to understand and remember, when we're using our vivid imagination of the future, creating things that haven't happened yet. There's a really cool thing that about the future is you can't actually address anything in the future. You can't fix anything in the future. So it's frustrating when you think about it, because it hasn't happened yet. It hasn't happened the way you think it's going to happen. So you really can't address it. So getting into the present is, what can I do now? Is much preferable. So when you see yourself looking in the back, you're lost in your thoughts of the past, how do you bring yourself to now? So back to Ram Dass, be here now. Be suspect of your vivid imagination of the future and your very, very, very fallible memory that really can't be trusted. Really a good idea to take things as fresh and as face value today as you possibly can. Thank you for your time and attention. Now you can go back to your regularly scheduled program a little happier, a little more serene, and maybe a little more present. Love you guys.